This week over at my blog, I wrote about abundance, how you attract it and how you begin vibrating in abundance in order to bring wonderful things to you. And I wanted to go a little deeper into the concept of abundance. And I wanted to start out by saying that when I use the word abundance, I don't just mean money. I mean love. I mean all kinds of things. So I'm not just talking about money, but I know that money is frequently used as a synonym of abundance. So I could use that as an example. People ask me, how do I attract more money? How do I attract a loving partner? There's another good example. How do I attract these things to me? And the first way for you to attract all of these wonderful things to you is to realize who you are. And who you are is abundance. You already are what you're looking for. And how does this abundance, how does this being that's infinite, that's who we are, we're infinite, we're abundance, we are already the universe contained inside of us, we're all these things. So how does this infinite being, how do we go from being infinite to manifesting struggle and fight? If infinity, if this universe incarnated is not able to manifest scarcity, how do we end up doing this? How do we end up struggling in life? And the answer is because we cloak ourselves. We're kind of living life in costumes, I'd like to say. We have these cloaks over us that prevent us from seeing who we really are. And what are these cloaks? It's the cloak of those subconscious beliefs, of all of these patterns that have been imposed on us by others and imposed on us by ourselves. Patterns that say, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I need to do this in order to be better. I need to make a certain amount of money in order to be accepted. I need to behave in a certain way so people will like me. These are all examples of the cloaks that we put over ourselves that kind of constrict our infinity. So if you think of it this way, if we constantly go through life cloaking ourselves, then it's obvious that we're constraining ourselves. And if we constrain ourselves, the universe will give us constraints. So this is how the infinity of who we are ends up struggling on this earth, because we constrain ourselves. So how do you get out of this loop? How do you begin to manifest abundance? You start taking those cloaks off. You start realizing who you are. And last week in the video, I talked about mirror work and how I use it a lot. And I use mirror work for this also, for manifesting abundance. When you look in the mirror, if you can just see that beautiful reflection and see the infinity behind it, then you start projecting that infinity and that abundance outward. Once you start doing that, once you start projecting who you really are without cloaks, who you really are outward, then abundance comes to you naturally and inevitably. It is inevitable that if you're able to vibrate your authenticity, your abundance, that abundance flows to you also. So here are the main things that I use to take off all these cloaks that have been put on us. Look in the mirror and just repeat the words, I am. Repeat them more than once. Not just so you can listen to the words, but so that you can feel the energy behind those words. I am. I smile when I say that because it's awesome. It's such a beautiful energy. And then as you begin to really step into the shoes of this infinity that you are, then everything changes on the outside. I kind of like to use the example of the ocean, the image of the ocean. You are the ocean. The ocean doesn't need to be thinking, oh my gosh, what do I need to do? All rivers end in the ocean. It's inevitable, right? It's inevitable for the water that flows through a river to end up in the ocean. So be ocean. If you can be ocean, if you can be infinite, then you know that it is inevitable that everything comes to you without any fighting, without any struggle. Look at yourselves in the mirror and say, I am. and begin to vibrate in that infinity. And then abundance, it's easy.